Oh, we're live? We're live. Hi there. Sorry, got distracted. Looking around. All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Tuesday's best around Raiderland. Coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios. Hoping you're having a really good day. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys for a little while. We'll see what's on everybody's mind this evening, whether it's some Texas Tech football, NFL, college, pro, maybe the South Plains fair food discussions, and annoying fan bases. All of it coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios tonight, brought to you in part by the folks at Gators Bayou, 98th and Slide Road. Great patio, still patio weather here in West Texas. There at Gators Bayou. Highly recommend, by the way, when it cools down a little bit, the Cajun pasta. Get the mild first, then advance on into the other heated elements. And by Premier Sportsplex, where the game is on. Check out their Facebook page. A ton of great activities right now. Whether it's you're looking for after school activities for your kiddos, you got some teams that want to play in some tournaments. Premier Sportsplex, they'll get you taken care of. For the good people who are watching tonight on YouTube and on Twitter X or X Twitter or whatever it is, you know what to do. Use the United Supermarkets text line. That way, we'll be able to see your wonderful questions and comments tonight. Harry's in, Scott's in. Craig says the talking box is on. Damon agrees. We have a hold on. I screwed up the product placement again. Good Lord, I'm going to get fired. There we go. Simultaneous sip for you guys there as we get ready to rock and roll on a Tuesday night. I'm intrigued by the fair food discussion tonight. The weirdest, strangest, craziest things that you have ever consumed and actually enjoyed. And then whatever else we get to. In three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com, the website. Start your day there, answer the question of the day. Check out the cool Raiderland hot links. We try to find really neat, interesting, fun stuff from sports to entertainment and everything in between. I guarantee it was the only place you found a link to WKRP in Cincinnati and the guy who was in the band Scum of the Earth from the Scum of the Earth episode. Guarantee that was the only place you found that. And I had to throw the original opening on there as well. The senator, while insisting he was not intoxicated, could not explain his nudity. You guys remember it. Come on now. 1979 wasn't all that long ago. Actually, it was 78, I guess, when it debuted. Getting fired from your own show is pretty hard. Who got fired from their own show? Somebody get fired from their own show? That sounds horrible. I wouldn't want that to happen to anybody, unless it happens to somebody I know. So, yeah, we're in the Arctic Air Studios tonight. A couple of more days, you want the air to be Arctic. Here in a few weeks, few months, you're going to not want the air to be Arctic. Call the Bear. That's all you need to remember. Callthebear.com. Locally owned and operated for years. Shane, veteran, rock on, good people. Glad they're with us right here. Where do we want to start tonight? What do we want to do? We want to start with Texas Tech football. I'm amazed at how many people, by the way, get nervous when Texas Tech is a favorite. That's why I asked the question. Are you guys okay with the line? The line, obviously, the old canard used to be the line is about getting equal amounts of money on both teams so that the sharps can make money on the juice. So that, my guys in the desert and the house will make money on the juice, and they'll get 10% on every bet. While that is still moderately, that's a good jumping off point. That's not always it. And it's not always, well, I hate to say equal money, respected money, probably a better way to do it. Total number of bets is totally different from number of dollars bets. But that aside, the general public, I am surprised that they get nervous still sometimes when Texas Tech is a favorite. Are you of that ilk? Do you like the number? Tech favored by 6. I think it's the right number. Part of that has to do with Green potentially dinged up. Well, not potentially dinged up. He's dinged up. How much he'll play at quarterback is a question. We get that. I think Texas Tech is a touchdown better than West Virginia, anywhere, everywhere, and in between, whether it's Morgantown or Muleshoe. Doesn't matter. So what do you guys think on the line? Do you like that? Also on Tuesdays, we ask you for Tuesday's best. Give us 2 best examples of a topic. Tonight we ask you annoying fan bases. The most annoying fan bases that are out there. College, pro, any sport. The most annoying fan bases. Who are those annoying fan bases? Houston people think I'm probably annoying right now because of something I said on Twitter yesterday. And I'm bagging on them. It's just reality. The reality is that they don't deliver the Houston market. The reality is you finally make it to the Big 12, you get in a Power 5 conference, and you sold 36,000 tickets. That's the reality, man. Sorry. That's just facts. That's not me being mean. They think I'm being mean. No, I'm not. Let's see. What's favorite fair food and what is the most overrated fair food? For me, most of the hyper stuff I'm not really into. I like a good burger and some cheese on a stick. Usually, if it's like the Lubbock Fair and we're out there or something, you try to support a charity that you kind of like. I really don't get into that crazy jacked up stuff. Let's see. Scott says this morning, Red Raiders 6 to 9 a.m. show. Jamie says Tyler, quarterback one, making six figures in his NIL deal. Okay, and is there a question in there? Remind our people on YouTube, Twitter X, get on the text line. United Supermarkets working hard, doing everything they can to give you the opportunity to be a part of this show and also your tailgating headquarters. So, yeah, use the text line 806-772-0197. Tell us most annoying fan bases, thoughts on Texas Tech, West Virginia. You like the line? Does it make you nervous if Tech is the favorite? I'm shocked how many people are. I can't believe Texas 6-point favorite. Yeah, that's where it should be. And then fair food. We're talking fair food tonight. Best, worst, craziest thing you've had that you actually like. Most of it looks like I wouldn't order it because I don't think I like it for the most part. Oh, hi, David. Glad you're watching. Chris, overrated is funnel cake. Cheers to Chris. Man, funnel cake doesn't do a thing for me. Not a thing. Nothing. Most annoying fan base is A&M. If it's not a tradition, they'll try to make it one. Yeah, I always got along better with my A&M people than my UT people for the most part. I think one of the reasons why, by the way, A&M and Texas Tech fought a lot because they had a lot more in common than A&M and UT and A&M and Texas Tech and UT. There was a lot more commonalities between Tech and A&M people than those two schools. The mini donut booth. Tell me more about the mini donut. I mean, if it's just small donuts, or is it mini like MANY? Scott, does that then open him up to justified scrutiny and criticism now that the college athletes can be criticized? They've always been open to scrutiny and criticism. It's changed nothing in my book. Zebby Lethridge was open to criticism. Ron Reeves, Jim Hart, Billy Joe Tolliver, all open to criticism. The fact that they're making money on the NIL doesn't change one iota for me at all. Not one bit. Gary's watching. Steak on a stick from the Tri-State Fair in Amarillo, Texas. I assume that's the Tri-State Fair you're referring to. I grew up going to the Tri-State Fair, then the South Plains Fair. Little bitty white powder donuts, little chocolate donuts. They've been on my training table for years. Anyone know the reference? If you can give me the reference, you win absolutely nothing. My brother is a UT and 49ers fan. He represents two annoying fan bases. Oklahoma State and LSU are annoying fan bases. LSU? Really? Huh. I know two LSU fans, I think. Thank you, SNL Belushi. Good job, Craig. Small donuts with cinnamon, sugar, lemon icing, cream cheese icing. So what do you do? Like buy a half dozen, a dozen, 2 dozen of those things? Full disclosure, I'm not a huge sweets guy. Peanut butter will get me every time. Like peanut butter M&Ms or Reese's, the little peanut butter M&M type deals. It's like, yeah, so good. Yeah, if it's not peanut butter, that's kind of my thing right there. I'm not really into the pies and the sweets and the things like that. The Ohio State University. Heat fans, when LeBron was there, were annoying. Again, where are you running into Heat fans? Not saying they're not there. You guys can use the United Supermarkets text line 806-772-0197, hanging out in the Arctic Air Studios. The Tri-Tip Fair, that's totally different. Tri-Tip Fair is outside of Muleshoe. How much of the Mahomes new contract did you earn for product placement consultation? A fraction, a very small fraction of the $210 million guaranteed. And again, hats off, Chris Cabot, his direct rep there with the Steinberg Agency. Um, it's always about guaranteed money. You hear all these contract terms and everything thrown around. The only number that matters is what is the guaranteed money. And the guaranteed money on this one is done in a fairly tight window, which will allow him to come back, restructure if he's still playing and wants to do it again, get more guaranteed money. The cap hit is moderately belayed, and then you've got to have an ownership that's willing to just hand over the cash, and they're willing to hand over the cash there in Kansas City. The Texas Longhorn, annoying, especially T-shirt alums that never been to Austin. Yeah. Drop them off on Speedway. There's an old Austin reference. Drop them off on Speedway and see if they can find the campus. Twitter fans as a whole, pretty annoying. Yeah, Twitter is a cesspool. It's a fun house. It is a fun house mirror. It is not to be reflection of real life. You know, Horn fans annoying on and off the field. So I figured there'd be a lot of Texas fans, a lot of Texas that would be annoying. You know who never gets mentioned as annoying fans? David Collier and Oklahoma Sooner fans. Nobody ever says that David Collier and Oklahoma Sooner fans are annoying because they're really not. It's odd, an odd little bunch. They just seem to know their place. And I got on Craig's, I got to hit the see more button there. By the way, you guys on Twitter and on YouTube, we're glad you're there. We want you to join us on the text line, 806-772-0197. Otherwise, I will not see your comments if you type them in on your normal Twitter type conveyance. Holy Trinity at the fair. Foot-long corn dog, funnel cake, fresh squeezed lemonade, complete with the undissolved sugar in the bottom of the cup. Nice. That we why can't we have Fletcher's corn dogs out here? Corny dogs. I should say corny dogs. Why can't we have Fletcher's? We would, when you go to Texas Motor Speedway, you can bring in all your own food and drink, and we would bring in a prodigious amount of drink and some beef jerky. The understanding was that we were all going to go to the Fletcher's corny dog stand there and just go crazy. I ate 4 corn dogs. We went inside one day during a rain delay. We knew they weren't going to race or anything, and we hiked in from the campground. The sole purpose was to only go find, we were told by my media sources there, thank you, Eddie Gossett Jr., that there was one Fletcher stand that was open during all this, went and received the greatness of Fletcher's. I'm trying to get them to come out to a ropes football game. I'm running out of time. They got the mobile Fletcher's corny dog deal. I know they're covered up with the state fair. My son's going to be there for Texas-Oklahoma weekend. God, he's in for an eye-opening for a kid from West Texas. And I'm going to give him a bag and just say, bring back Fletcher's. That's all I ask, the Walmart Longhorns. College basketball, Kentucky fans, find them annoying. Do I think the Dallas Cowboys defense is going to make Dak more money? They're done paying Dak for the most part. I think he signed the last contract that he's going to sign with the Cowboys. 3 Red Raiders on D1 Baseball Top 100. Nice. Very nice. And, of course, it's always the guys who you don't know for sure who are going to be coming in and the beautiful transfer portal and everything else. And we'll have fall ball here in about, 3 weeks? Is that right? Sorry. By the way, it just felt like a Waylon Jennings kind of day. Sorry to my friends at Boot City. I've got a great shirt over there. I'll wear it tomorrow. I was going to throw it on. No, man, it's a Waylon kind of day. 75th birthday party. So yeah, we'll kind of see what the lay of the land is here in a few weeks when fall ball gets underway. We'll see what this thing is. Now, you never really know, though, until the end of January, who's here, who's healthy, and what's going to look like. Arkansas fans can't get behind the Woo Pig Suey. I think they get behind the Woo Pig Suey, don't they? I believe that's their thing, isn't it? Plastic pig hats and Woo Pig Suey. Thought I was going to sneeze there for a second. Sure felt like we were going to sneeze. So Everybody's cool with Tech being a 6-point favorite. I like that. Nobody nervous about that. Everybody likes the line. You think that's a good line? Do we like that going up to West Virginia? We asked the question yesterday, what do we know? What do we not know about Texas Tech? Neil Brown staved off a lot of criticism by beating an arch rival in the backyard brawl. Huge win for that program. I don't think it's going to translate into anything different at the end of the season. I truly don't. But unlike what's going on in Stillwater, and then Matt Campbell having to be restrained from going after Iowa State fans, yelling at him that he's on the hot seat. Man, who's a bigger disappointment the last couple of years? The rise and now fall of Matt Campbell, and just kind of the steady decline of Mike Gundy, who doesn't want to be a college football coach anymore. Tech defense holds West Virginia to 10 points. I would take 13 in a heartbeat. If you can hold any Big 12 team to under 14, that's a shutout, in my opinion. Expected weather in Morgantown. I'm glad you brought that up because we got that hurricane that's kind of spinning off that way. And I looked at one radar projection yesterday, and the bands were kind of intermittent Saturday. This was a way out radar projection on Saturday in the Morgantown area. So maybe here in the next day or two, we'll get a more clear picture on if this thing's going to be dealing with any rain or not. Yeah, he should have taken a job when it was available. Texter on the United Supermarkets text line, every day is Whalen Day. I agree. Will Joey alternate quarterbacks if we have bad start? He won't alternate them. He might make a change, but I don't think you'll see alternating quarterbacks at all. And I don't expect to change. And then you'd have to define what a bad start is. And let me put it this way. Joey McGuire saying yesterday, Joey McGuire is the head coach at Texas Tech, for those who are just tuning in, that the plan all along was to give, Morton the reps in the second half. And I understand that you have your starting quarterback come back out and play a series. You want to stay in the rhythm of coming out after halftime and being sharp. I know that doesn't sound like much, but it's a big deal. That there's something to coming back out onto the field after the Orange Bowl halftime shows that we have to endure now. 15 minutes, they get it done in the NFL. 17 minutes in college should be plenty. Anyhow, that was always the plan. The plan would have only changed if it had been, say, 24-21, and then it would have been more Tyler Shough. It did not say, and then we would have taken Tyler Shough out and we would have gone with Behren Morton. I'm telling you right now, I don't know what the gap is, but the gap is, again, severe enough that it's just not in the programming right now for Texas Tech internally that you have any situation that would imply that there's any sort of controversy over who they believe the starting quarterback should be. And I hear people saying, well, he's going to have a shorter leash this week. No, he's not. He's not going to have a shorter leash this week. It's not going to happen. Just a little bit of bitterness to it today. So fans can think what they want. And by the way, when I say he has a quarterback controversy, I'm saying in total, not internally. You can have a quarterback controversy within your fan base and not have one within your locker room. Also, you can have a horrible locker room and you can have a lot of crap going on in your locker room, and the fan base has no idea and thinks everything is tranquil. Both those things can exist. I want to go back to Ryan's comments. Matt Campbell should have taken a big job when it was available. I agree. He basically Seth Luttrelled himself. We're all familiar with that term. Luttrell could have had that Kansas State job. He was reluctant to take it because he didn't want to keep Snyder's kid on staff and didn't want to be told what to do. So they said, oh, that's fine. We'll find somebody who will. And they went and got Chris Klieman. Matt Campbell, the greatest ever Iowa State team, the greatest of the great, multiple NFL players, they only won 7 games that year. Joey McGuire rolls into Tech, wins 7 games. The greatest of the greatest. Why do we think Matt Campbell's all that good? Why? Seriously, why do we think he's all? And I know it's because they did some stuff at Iowa State there. He staggered into some with just some dumb luck. quite frankly, getting Purdy there. But I can make a case that he squandered more talent than he maximized. Iowa State players are dotting NFL rosters right now, particularly offensively. Why do we think he's that good? I mean, I heard somebody say, he's going to go up to Michigan State, take over from Mel Tucker, and it'll be like Duffy Darty all over again. There's your old reference for whatever you want. Greatest game ever played in the century, 10-10 tie. James, I'm a junior class sponsor in high school. Therefore, everything is annoying. I understand. What's the worst class in a high school? Sophomore, juniors, or seniors? If we have any high school teachers other than James, you can weigh in. Could be fun. Chiefs, Cowboys in the Super Bowl in Vegas. Could be fun. Nobody would live through it. First off, Rob Breaux would be there, and there's no way Rob Breaux would live through it. If him and Carson were up there, no way. Kyle wouldn't go. Kyle couldn't handle the party. But my God, Rob Breaux, if Cowboys and Chiefs were there, and we'd figure out a way, by the way, to be there and be on Radio Row without a radio show. I promise you we could get that done. I could get that done. You guys join us on the text line 806-772-0197. I mean, it's not that hard. People still compliment me and tell me how much they enjoy listening to me and Don Williams on the radio, and we haven't been on the radio together since 2012. United Supermarkets. I told you about the meat specials that I have noticed a trend on Sundays. Sunday morning, you got to beat the Baptist and the Methodist. The Methodist will buy you out of the beef. But if you get there early enough, man, you can find those ad specials. And if you got freezer space, load up. Load up there at your local Market Street, United Supermarkets. Second semester seniors are bad. Guilty when I was a senior. Good Lord, I was so checked out. Would think freshmen, but Chris is an 8th grade teacher. I guess it depends on if freshmen are in the building or not. See, when I was in high school, it was just sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Then, that was also an era where you had the super high schools where you had juniors and seniors on a campus and freshmen and sophomores on another in the bigger cities and schools. Well, for my kids, the toughest scholastic year was junior year. We got past that in my household, so if we can get past dual credit and all that stuff this year, I think we'll be okay. I vaguely remember my junior year of high school. That is an odd thing to say because I wasn't on drugs, but I just don't remember a whole lot about it. It wasn't bad. But like hyper memories of sophomore and hyper memories of senior. Junior year, I was just like trying to get through it. Teachers hated teaching those kids. Me? What? I didn't do anything. Jeez, Lonnie. Tech football on your mind, we can discuss it. Annoying fan bases. What makes a fan base annoying? What makes a fan base annoying? I wonder how many schools think Tech fans are annoying. Are you guys annoying? Do people think you're annoying? You get told you're annoying? Have you been told you're annoying? I've been in the media for 30 plus years. I get told I'm annoying every day. And then fair food. The best, craziest, nuttiest, whatever you want to call it, mash up fair food that you've ever had that was good. All right. The Church of Christ members are the ones you have to beat to the restaurants on Sunday. Yeah, just First Cafeteria. Now that that's gone, I think I don't know where they go. No Lubies here. Murmurs in Waco about Aranda. Shine may be off. Yeah, I think it's more than murmurs. I think it's been a steady decline of recruiting, and then it took a huge hit when Blanchard and McGuire left. Tech fans, we are annoying. But I think it's more than murmurs. They're not replacing talent. Baseball fans that don't understand the game are annoying. Football guy. I'm here to help. I try. I'm only one man. I appreciate you guys helping me out with football guy. YTU spoiled rich kid fans. Tech fan base that thinks the fan base that thinks they are back again every year. Very annoying. Joe Tessitore, for a line that was not it wasn't supposed to live in infamy or anything like that, to be known for that and it's a negative. I feel for the guy because he's a real solid play-by-play guy. But yeah, man, he should have known better. Should have known better. The moment it came out of his mouth, he's like, I'm going to hear this one a while. Every other fan base has a battery story about Tech made up in their heads. Yeah. You know how hard it is to get a battery, by the way, a rapid tortilla around a battery? We'd use rubber bands. Have heard opposing team fans hate sitting in the Tech stands. They are treated poorly, according to them. I hate to hear that. It breaks my heart. It truly does. It's just a horrible thing. Us Church of Christers start church 30 minutes early just to beat the Baptists to the restaurant. So I thought it was get out to watch the Cowboys play the noon game. In the 1970s, when I was a little kid in Canyon, the Methodist Church, we got out early. They wrapped early if the Cowboys were playing the noon game. Serious stuff, man. I am not making that up. It is true and factual. We'd get out early on Cowboy game days. I'm not going as far as saying that, that they were included in the prayer request list. I mean, Staubach, yeah. Or, but not necessarily the whole team, but just particularly Staubach every week. Fair Food. What is it? You guys ever watch the show? They run them Saturday and Sunday quite a bit on Food Channel, the Carnival Eats show. The dude who hosted, I mean, he's obviously very energetic because he's hopped up on sugar. But if I hosted that show, I would weigh 400 freaking pounds. How that guy is not like massive, scary. Tom Landry was our pastor in the 70s. Do two Tom Landrys and sin no more. Let's see, going to my first Oklahoma State game in Stillwater will be interesting to see. You'll have a headache from them banging the paddles on the padded wall there. And other than that, you'll feel like you're at a Tech game because they basically do everything Tech does. You got the guns up, they got the horse, they got the Spirit Rider. And you'll feel very much at home. It's a Texas Tech light game day experience, so I think you'll enjoy it. Tech's outside receivers have been non-existent. Need to get them involved. Yeah, get open. I've been, and I said it last year, and I'm saying it again, I am nonplussed by this receiving core right now. As a whole, that it is just not creating separation. Been a lot of talk the last week or two about, yards after catch, run after catch, all that stuff, yak rack and everything in between. Part of that is catching the ball in motion. Part of that is catching the ball on the move. Part of that is being away from the receiver. The receiving core to me is just real pedestrian right now. No instrument solos, Church of Christ. That's why the services were fast. Of course, they're changing that up now in a lot of them. Got them praise teams up there, darn near a choir. Saw a drum set the other day. I need to use our tight ends more. Everybody says that. I thought the last two games, I thought they went to Tharp and utilized them and featured them at a pretty good level. And you can't throw to the tight end every play. What do you think you are, Iowa State? Which fan base surprised you as nice instead of being bad during the Sharp era? We're going back to the 90s or the 2000s, or how far back you want to go on this? When the Big 12 was created, I always had a good time with the Kansas State fans. Their teams got really good in the early 2000s, but always liked the Kansas State fans. And then they really got annoying when they were good enough to beat Tech and got good there about 2002-03, right in through there. Back in the radio calling days. Well, there are a couple of different stints on that. So, I always got along with them. I got no problem with the purple people up there. Kansas fans are okay. There just weren't many of them for women's basketball. And then in football, and even in men's basketball, the Kansas men's basketball fans were sort of like the old Nebraska football fans. They had this noblesse oblige about them, that they could be nice to everybody because they beat the hell out of everybody. And then you saw with the fall of Nebraska football, hey, they were just like everybody else. They'd boo their own team, they'd boo the opposing team, they'd boo everybody. It turned out they really weren't all angelic the way they were, you know, promoted to be there for 20, 30 years during the Tom Osborne era. TCU fans, the most abusive. Yes, a lot of drug users. Or so I'm told. KU fans have been around really nice. Yeah, like I said, seem like good people. And I'm kind of happy for them, even though I'm not believing Leipold and everything going on is exactly maybe what some people think. But good for them. Good for them. Good for Brian Haney getting to call some quality football. Any good EJ Holub stories? My dad's fraternity brother. By the time I'm starting to be around football and everything else, EJ's obviously a little bit older. Hung around him a few times. I'm not going to, he would remember me, when I would see him, or at least he was kind enough to act like he knew who I was. But probably the last really good sit down, hang out, spend some time would have been the Gallery Furniture Bowl in Mike Leach's first year, actually. And we were down there and ended up in the hotel, team hotel, I guess. I don't know. Good visit. Good guy. But I didn't ever get a chance to really spend a whole lot of time around EJ. Green, white, checkered, I know. I say, if the conversation's good, I'll visit with you guys. If you guys suck, I got stuff to do. I think I got some sausage wraps in there that I may dine on tonight. Kind of see what happens. Never know. Got options. Had some really good pasta last night that I know we've got some left over there. So it's always good to have options. That's what I tell everybody anyways. All right, so we're all good with Technion favored by 6. We got that. Fair food. As the week goes on, I want reports here on the daily broadcast from people that are attending the South Plains Fair. And otherwise, I want to find out what we got going on out there, good places, get some, plugs in for any of the charities that you want to do. Tomorrow, Bandwagon Wednesday, get on the site early, get on the site often. TheRaiderland.com. Want to thank the good people at Arctic Air. Remember to call the bear if your air is not Arctic enough, or if it's too Arctic, you need to call the bear. And of course, Premier Sportsplex. The game is on. And if you see my buddies there at Gators Bayou, tell them we said, hey, it's always good to see some friends hanging out there. All right. First people that got to go are YouTube and Twitter. In stream, yes. Yes, I want to. And we wait.